The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense.
I've said this a couple times over the years when he's given great speeches. I think that was the single greatest speech he's ever given. I was at the Madison Square Garden rally a few weeks before he was elected, and it was incredible. Wait, was that before he was elected or before he was sworn in? It was before he was elected, right? Oh yeah, it was like the week before the election. And it was absolutely incredible. The speech, the energy, they said it was a Nazi rally and all the usual stuff. But what Trump did last night, blending truth with results, with humor and love for country, it was probably the best speech I've heard in my lifetime. So let's start with him going after the woke.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense, with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop.
All right, so there's two things that happen there. Obviously, the woke stuff, we don't have to get into that. It's obviously great that we're getting DEI out of the system and that we're gonna have less boys beating the crap out of girls and that stuff. Okay, fine. The second half of that about Ukraine was the only time the Democrats applauded, because he was basically saying, you inept morons from the administration before me have given all of this money with no strings attached, and they're all like this. And then you can see, and that's why he was so good last night, because he can read off the prompter perfectly, and then, he goes on these extemporaneous kind of stand-up things and works with the crowd and all that, but he looks at them and basically says, do you guys want it to go on forever? And they're just applauding Ukraine and more money to Ukraine, and then he kind of sticks it to Pocahontas.